Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cyber Guy. So today I'll show you how to scan DVWA using just Nikto and Nmap. Two powerful tools that reveal vulnerabilities fast. Now, if you do not have DVWA, make sure that you just go back to our previous videos and to the operating system chapter. You can just go ahead and get it from there. Now, are you ready to just give this a try? Buckle up and let's get started.
Learn cybersecurity in no time.
So we have DVWA open. So DVWA is the safest place where you can practice your ethical hacking. So what we can do, we can go to DVWA security. Before we start scanning it or do anything, we have to set this to low. All right. And then what we are going to do right now, we are going to open our terminal. So let me just open another terminal. So I have two open. So I'm going to put them side by side and then we can go from there. All right, let me see if I can drag. My computer just cooperate. All right, anyway, so I can just, let me drag this a little bit so you can have a better idea. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to just scan this website. So it's 192.160, okay, DVWA. Let me go home first, and then this is what we gonna give me a second please. Gonna go to DVWA, and then this is what we are going to scan. So this side gonna be Nikto, and then the other side gonna be Nmap. All right, let me just see. I have two terminal open. Let me see, two terminal, one and then two. There we go. All right, we can just go ahead and get started. If you want to learn more about Nikto, you can just Nikto-H. You can do so many things with Nikto. So it's just endless, the amount of things that you can do. So now we're gonna just do you're gonna try to detect some outdated software and its configuration. All right, we can do Nikto -H, and then the domain name. Let me see if I can paste it. Let's see, paste selection. We just put a bunch of extra characters, so we can just delete that. And hit enter. So in the meantime, let me just use the other side to just scan with Nmap. So for Nmap, we let's see what we can do. Nmap -H. We have a lot of things that we can do using Nmap right here. We can just do operating system detection. Okay, we are going to do Nmap-O and then the domain name. So that's probably gonna be very easier. Let's see, Nmap -O and the domain name. All right, we can just paste selection. We're gonna do the same as well, trying to remove it. It is a very kind of safe space, for you to practice your cyber skills without harming anybody. So I will highly recommend it that you go back to our chapters. You're gonna see, how to set this up. All right, let's see. He did not. Okay, I probably make a typo right here. All right, let's see what's going on. What did I do wrong? -O. Okay, let me just, I'm going to just put the IP address only for Nmap. Space, enter. You did not put a space, so let me try again to see. Oh yeah, I see the problem. Yeah, after the -O, I just added a space. Okay, we got a root privilege. Oh, why? We have all kind of problem today. Return type sudo. Oh yeah, of course, add the password. There we go. Nmap is starting to just scanning right now. Hopefully, Nmap gonna behave, because Nmap was giving some trouble, probably because we made a typo right here, and Nmap wasn't happy about it. Good. While Nmap is just scanning, so what we can do, we can just go to DVWA to see the vulnerability found. So now, if we go back to our report, you see that it's like beautifully tell you like what the issues are, like because what we're trying to scan, we're trying to scan uh, with this comment, we're trying to get the headers, like vulnerabilities from the headers, etc. So you can just feel free to just see, just read through it, and see what's going on. For example, I can just take this one: DVWA config directory indexing file. All right. So, and sometimes they even give you the CVE number. I'm trying to just scan through to see. Yeah, they give you a bunch of documentation, so you can just get to. And then okay, this sometimes they tell you what the vulnerability is about. Okay, this one allows retrieval of source code via the S parameters. And then the CVE, common vulnerability exposure, you can actually go there and just keep learning and learning and more. And then in the other end, let's see what's going on right here. So this survey, what's going on right here, they have, Telnet open, which is very good. It's a good piece of information for attackers, because they're probably trying to just log in using Telnet. So, you know, based from a security perspective, so what I will do if I were like to scan this and they ask me to just to remediate the issues. So I'm kind of curious, what will you do? What will you do? In my case, I'll probably start first with the Nmap result. Yeah, because this is from the code base. So let's see right here. What I will do, the first thing that you have to do when it comes to security is close what you don't need. Like it's the same like with your house. So if you're leaving for vacation, you don't leave the doors open. So I'll start closing ports. For example, if this is a web app, so I'll probably leave 80, HTTP 80, and leave HTTPS 443 is not in the list. So I'll just leave it open, if I'm using SSL for encryption. So I'll start closing, for example, if I need something for MSTP, like for if I'm using mail, so I'll just leave this open, and I'll start closing down. The first thing I'll go with, with like 23 SSH, port 22 is fine, but because this is so common, I'll close that port and reassign a different port to for SSH. And then this is what I'll do in this matter. And then as you can see here, let's see. Okay, they give you the OS. So this is a Linux base, etc. From the other hand, right here. So this is more like programming and coding based. What I will do, I'll read through the documentation right here, and then see what's going on. And by the way, for me, if you were to do that for a client, you can actually export the result as a PDF into whatever path that you give it, and this will give you a very beautiful result. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. What we can do, the same comment that we added, we can just put some parameters -o, and then we can send it to desktop, and then DVWA, and we can scan. We're gonna call it that HTML. Okay, this is what it's gonna do. We're gonna scan it and just create like a file here that's gonna be more readable, because as of now, this one is kind of very it's not the best way to read it. So we can actually, if you're working for a client, you wouldn't want to give them something like that. It doesn't really make sense. So that's why I'm going to export it right now as a HTML file that is readable. So this is still going on. I'm going to just try. You see the file is already created. I'm going to try to open it to see if I'll be able to open while it's still running. Perfect. As you can see here, this look way better. So this is what you already know give to a client or to a like coding team or like programmers, like whoever need to just mitigate the issues. This is what we will give them, that just show, the description, the URI, the execute method, and description references that they can go from there. Now, as we are comparing those two powerful tools, so if I miss anything, I'm kind of curious because I'm not trying to say everything. I'm kind of curious, what other method that will you use? Let's say that, you're like, a pen test, you're in a pen test team, and then you have these two results, from this web application right here that is vulnerable. What other step will you take to mitigate the issues? I'm kind of curious, and please feel free to drop them into the comment section below. Now, if you found this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity tools. Until next time, happy learning.